Hi everyone! Today I will do you a review for another interesting product by Derwent, and this is Graphitint pencils, another unique product. I don't know any similar product from other brands, and they are tinted graphite. I have an old package, now they redesigned it, and I have a full set of 24 pencils. They are also available in blister with 6 pencils and also in tin of 12 colors. Now let me unpack it and let's test it. I saw a lot of beautiful pictures which artists are created using these pencils, and I also heard a lot of favorable reviews about other colorists. I think that they will do a nice extension to my Inktense set. Design is very similar to all other Derwent pencils, with brand name, with color name, color number, and I was surprised that they are lighter than Inktense and color soft pencils, and maybe it's the only difference I first found. But then I found one very unpleasant surprise. Look at this pencil. It has a distinctive splint in the wood. It's almost divided in two halves, and I think that it's the manufacturer's fault. I've never had similar problems with any other of my Derwent sets. I always said praises about quality of Derwent production, quality of the wood. All pencils are manufactured in United Kingdom, but here it was quite unpleasant surprise, especially because it was one of very nice violet colors which I always love. And I also didn't understand why the tip is gray when color is juniper. I always thought that juniper color is far from that gray. So we have another problem, that the color on the tip of the pencil isn't similar to the color of the lid. Now let's swatch them. As I already said, these pencils are tinted graphite, and dry graphitint are really dark with only a hint of color. But I saw on other swatches that when you add water, colors became much more vibrant. On Derwent website there is a chart which indicates that almost all pencils have very nice light fastness, so it's good. I don't know honestly where to use these pencils when they are dry, but I really love them after water is applied. And I saw so many amazing art, especially art which depicted nature, flowers, insects, landscapes when artists use this set of pencils. I would say that they are very dependent from the quality of the paper also. Here I'm swatching them on really simple cheap paper, but later in this review I will show you how beautiful they are on real watercolor paper. My first impression is that they are quite similar to Inktense on paper. I don't know whether they are permanent or not, but they are quite stainy on this paper. They are difficult to erase and to wash away from paper after water is applied. To do swatches for this set is extremely important, because pencil lids are dark and you can't distinguish colors, and colors on some of the pencil tip don't match color on paper. What I do like is that they are extremely highly pigmented and they easily activated with water, and I used quite soft brush and still I was able to completely dissolve pigment and you don't see any strokes on paper after water is applied. But I was quite disappointed with the quality of the wood, and I hope that maybe after they refurbished and changed design of the tin, they also improved quality of the pencils, because so far it's the worst quality set of Derwent pencils I own. You won't be able to use this set as your basic one because it didn't have bright yellows, for example. It could be a nice extension to your watercolor set or Inkten set if you love to use these dark, rich, deep colors. My favorite colors in this set are natural greens, violet and beautiful red-brown color. I would say that it's a perfect set to color fall landscapes. That's why I decided to purchase it, maybe. I think so. Pencils are quite soft and because of this, they require frequent sharpening. The most amazing thing how color came to life when water is added. Color is still muted, but now you can see that tint in the graphite. Also in this set we have black pencil, which is called midnight black, which is really anything but not black. Maybe it's better called dark gray. Another interesting thing about this set, maybe it's not a fault, you just have to consult your color swatches when you choose which color you want to use. So you definitely have to it takes some time to get used to the set and to learn it better. As I said, colors are quite difficult to erase, but they work very well when you apply them in multiple layers, letting previous layers dry, of course. I wanted to show you another Derwent pencils with similar name. They are Tinted Charcoal. I purchased them maybe 3 years ago, even before I started coloring. Before I already heard about Derwent Graphitint, but I couldn't find graphitints in our art stores, so I decided to test these pencils. They are great, but this medium are great for artists who draw, but absolutely not helpful for colorists. So be careful if you decide to try graphitint and don't purchase tinted charcoal. These charcoal pencils behave more like pastel pencils. They smudge. When activated with water, they become dirty, so graphitints I liked much more. I decided to show you on similar colors how different they behave. Graphitint pigment lay down and flow more like pigment of Inktense pencils or maybe watercolor pencils. I am happy that now I am much more experienced and I know how each different product behave, and now it's easier for me to select which pencils I want to try and which purchase isn't necessary for us colorists who don't draw actually. Among all my art supplies, this Derwent charcoal pencils is the only medium which I hadn't found a way to use in coloring books, but I am happy that now I have graphitints and I have tried them, and apart from the quality of the wood, I was quite happy with the pigment and colors. Now let me show you how I tested them both on the thin paper as we have in Lise Marie Callen Tale Ho coloring book and also on watercolor paper in Jade Gideon coloring book. I would say that these pencils are highly dependent from the quality of the paper. On watercolor paper, we get much more depth and richness of color. You can create nice washes from dark to almost pastel colors. And just like with inktense, of course, you can take pigment from the pencil lid with a wet brush. On the thin paper, it's harder to cover bigger areas without getting stains. But I have the same problem if I want to cover big areas with inktense pencils on the cheap paper. Both of these pencils go inside paper surface quite quickly. I would be completely happy with this set because these muted colors are exactly what I wanted, apart from the quality of that juniper pencil. I hope that this review was helpful. I hope to show you more interesting pictures with these pencils in the future and that I will be able to give you more experienced opinion about them. Well, thank you for watching and until the next videos.